a fret over nothing. Now you just help us out today and find yourself a place where you won't get into any trouble.
Some place where there isn't any trouble.
Hi, my name is Maddie, and today I'm going to be talking about the legacy and impact of
This
Technicolor.
wolf's headed my own way.
Done. I'm leaving for Norwich immediately after the tournament anyway, so you may do what you please with him.
In a world before digital cinema where most movies were still shot in black and white, one groundbreaking technique emerged that would forever change the way we experience color in film. That technique was known as Technicolor, a process that introduced the world to a rainbow of vibrant, almost surreal colors. From its first use in the 1930s to its iconic status in films like The Wizard of Oz and Singing in the Rain, Technicolor became synonymous with spectacle, fantasy, and larger-than-life visuals. So what exactly is Technicolor? At its core, Technicolor is a color film process that captures images using multiple strips of film, producing some of the most vivid and saturated colors ever seen on cinema. Technicolor was initially introduced in the 1910s, but it was the three-strip version developed in 1935 that really made waves. By using separate strips of film to record the primary colors, red, green, and blue, the process created a dynamic, almost otherworldly color palette. This new technique allowed filmmakers to not just capture color, but to manipulate it in ways that had never been possible before. Filming in Technicolor wasn't easy. The cameras were massive and noisy, and they required intense lighting, so much in fact that sets would get unbearably hot. Makeup also had to be exaggerated to work under the harsh lighting and show up properly on film. Directors and actors often had to adapt their style and performance just to make Technicolor work. Let's talk about some of the distinct visual qualities of Technicolor, features that set it apart from other color processes. First and foremost, Technicolor is known for its hyper-saturated colors. Think of the bright red of Dorothy's slippers in The Wizard of Oz or the striking yellow costumes in Singing in the Rain. These colors don't just look bright, they look almost electric. Technicolor's color palette is full of rich, deep hues that jump off the screen, pulling us into the story and making even the most mundane scenes seem magical. Another signature characteristic is the high color contrast. Colors in Technicolor are often placed side by side in bold, eye-popping combinations. Red against greens, blues against yellows. This gives the image a sense of dynamism, almost like a painting coming to life. Technicolor also has a unique glow effect. The way light interacts with the colors often creates a soft, almost ethereal aura around certain scenes. It's part of what gives classic Technicolor films that dreamlike, otherworldly quality. Although The Wizard of Oz as a Technicolor film seemed to grab the most attention as one of the first films to use digital color, the first Technicolor movie ever made was Becky Sharp, released in 1935 and directed by Ruben Mamoulian. If there's one color that's practically synonymous with Technicolor, it's red. In fact, reds in Technicolor are so intense they almost seem to jump off the screen. Whether it's the glowing rubies of Dorothy's slippers or the vivid red of a princess's gown, reds tend to dominate the frame, creating a focal point for the viewer. Technicolor also gives films a special textural richness. Because the process captures such detail and sharpness in both light and shadow, it allows filmmakers to create images with a certain depth, making the sets, costumes, and characters feel tactile, almost as if they could step right out of the screen.
There's never been anything between us.
Technicolor wasn't just a technical achievement, it represented a cultural shift in Hollywood. By the 1930s, color was still a novelty in film, with most movies still shot in black and white. But when Technicolor took hold, it opened up new possibilities. Directors could tell stories through color, choosing vibrant hues to reflect mood, time of day, or character psychology. It wasn't just a tool for realism, it was a tool for fantasy. In The Wizard of Oz, for instance, Technicolor literally divides the real world from the fantastical land of Oz. The transition from Dorothy's dull gray Kansas to the bright, colorful Oz highlights the transformative power of color in storytelling. As Hollywood transitioned into the 1950s, other color processes began to rise in popularity, like Eastman color. These newer processes allow for more natural, subtle hues compared to the bold, stylized look of Technicolor. Films shot in Eastman color often had softer, more muted tone.
I'll give you anything you ask.
In comparison, Technicolor often looked more exaggerated, more artificial, and that's part of why Technicolor became so linked with genres like musicals, fantasies, and epic storytelling, anything that demanded a larger-than-life visual style. While Technicolor is no longer used today, its legacy still resonates. Filmmakers like Wes Anderson and Baz Luhrmann are known for using vibrant color palettes in their films, drawing inspiration from the bold, saturated aesthetics of classic Technicolor. In films like The Grand Budapest Hotel, La La Land, and even In the Mood for Love, and many others, you can see a modern-day homage to Technicolor's visual style. Colors are carefully crafted to evoke a sense of whimsy, wonder, and nostalgia. Technicolor's heightened aesthetic made it perfect for genres that embrace artifice. Musicals, fantasy films, and period dramas could push visual boundaries. The exaggerated colors match the emotional intensity of musical numbers or the surrealism of imaginary worlds. In essence, Technicolor helped movies feel like moving paintings, an emotional and visual escape. Even though Technicolor is no longer used today, its influence is still very much alive. Many modern filmmakers deliberately craft their color palettes to evoke the vivid, dreamlike qualities of Technicolor cinema. Directors like Wes Anderson, Baz Luhrmann, and Damien Chazelle have embraced rich, stylized color as a storytelling tool, borrowing Technicolor's language of heightened emotion, contrast, and fantasy. Technicolor was more than just a technical innovation. It became a language, one that filmmakers used to express emotion, fantasy, and grandeur. There's a reason we still feel something when we see the red of Dorothy's slippers, the crimson skies in Gone with the Wind, and the dream sequences in La La Land. And even today, its influence continues to inspire filmmakers who want to make their worlds feel a little more colorful and a little more alive.